So first of all, welcome to CDP World. Okay. Woo! So again, this is our second CDP World, right? And we're very excited to have you here. So this year, we actually have 60% more companies joining. And you probably know this, but the room size actually gets doubled, right? So we're really, really exciting. The CDP audience and also community is growing. And for those who have attended last year, welcome back. And for those who attend this first time, this is where the future of customer data is happening. So I hope you enjoy the event. And let's make this event unforgettable together as a community. And for any presentation I have, I always start from our vision, which is called Connected Customer Experiences. You know, when you think about CDP, read all the reports, right? A lot of people think CDP is just a marketing tool or category in MarTech. And we hate that definition because our vision is put customer data at the core and heart and center of all the enterprise. And we think customer data can transform not just marketing, but also sales, service, compliance, supply chain, across all of them, right? And that's our vision. That's where we want to go in next 5 years, 10 years. And when I think about this audience, we have an amazing community here. So right now, we have about 8 billion people on the earth. And I don't know if you know, but 5 billion people are internet connected. And I was doing a little bit of calculation, but today, we have about 200 brands joining this event and collaboratively managing more than 3 billion people's data. And imagine we're actually influencing 60 to 70% of internet population just from this room. Woo! Right? And you know, you look at all the brands, you know, you just instantly recognize, right? From the shoes to clothes to watches to chocolates to candies to beverages, right? It's everywhere. And Treasure Data is really honored to work with you all. But don't forget, we also have to be the custodian of their data. We need to honor their privacy. That's a part of our important job as well. Now, let's do a little bit of recap of what we have announced last year. So last year, we reinvented CDP by unifying batch and real-time. Before CDP World last year, the CDP was either batch or real-time, right? And then we come in and then saying and announce that we became the first CDP who unified both batch and real-time. And you don't need 2 CDPs anymore, unlike vendor XYZ. And you just need Treasure Data. You implement one tag, one pipeline, one identification, and you can achieve both batch and real-time use case. And we believe we're now 5 to 10 years advanced because, to be honest, every other vendor struggled to do this. And it took 3-5 years for us to do this, but we did it. And right now, last 6 months or 12 months, we did a lot of real-time use cases implement together. And I'm actually really glad that with our strong product and engineering team, we successfully ingested almost 600,000 records into our ingestion pipeline and handle it in the real-time engine. So I believe this is the fastest and most scalable real-time marketing engine ever exist on the earth. This shows our scalability and reliability. And to be honest, if we were to ask to do like tracking maybe 8 billion people's behavior, maybe we can, right? So this is the ultimate real-time engine we have built. Now let's take a look at how this works. So this is the demo of how our real-time engine works. So this scenario is about creating real-time journey for your hotel check-in. So what you can do is with drag and drop, you can create the entry criteria for this journey. And then you can also create what is called trigger action. In this case, email by using one of our partner, Braze, to send an email, right? So thank you, Braze people, maybe. And you end it, and boom, that's it. So if someone checks into the hotel, you can put some room number, royalty numbers, and emails. So this engine looks up your customer profile, and boom, you shoot the email, right? So this is a simple use cases, but we have customer who is trying to use it in the store, in the game, in the mobile app, right? So the use cases rise. And fundamentally, the reason why we built this real-time engine is because consumers' buying behavior is become more instantaneous. They see Instagram and then started buying it, right? So we wanted every single one of you reaching out to your customers faster than any of your competitor. We know if someone approaches to you for the first time, they are 60% more likely to buy. So we actually built this engine so that every single one of the brands who use the Treasure Data become the leader in each category, grabbing more customers than any of your competitors, approaching them quicker. So that's what we have built. Now, if you look at the last 6 months or so, we also built another layer, which is zero copy. There's a lot of competitors in CDP world. I'm sure you have heard that zero copy is a better architecture or whatever. Now, we think it's a feature, not the architecture, given we have just built within the last 3 to 6 months. And I personally believe that's actually a choice. If you have a mature data warehouse, data lake, everything in it, maybe you go to composable. But if you go to enterprise, who just kept acquiring a lot of companies and built an environment where every business is using different platform, then it's a different architecture, right? So we're here to provide all of you a choice. And you probably saw, but 2 weeks ago, we made zero copy for Databricks and Snowflake live. Whoop. And last time we have heard from the customer, the majority of you are using data warehouse that's managed by IT and all these. And we also have Amazon Redshift and BigQuery zero copy just coming in a couple of months. This is because we had a lot of upgrade of our internal query engine called Trino. It makes us much, much faster to roll out these like federated query feature. And we will keep adding those zero copy federated query capability based on your needs and the evolve of the modern data ecosystem. Now, on top of this data layer, you have to create lots of profiles, right? So we also made a lot of innovation in the profiles layer. We are actually deploying 20 to 30 changes every single day without Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that our engineering team can have some rest and no incidents over the weekend, right? But if you think about it, we're deploying 600, 700 times a month. We have velocity, work quality, we have like really low incident numbers, right? So that makes us innovate faster than any other competitors. And if you look at the innovation last 12 months or so, we added a lot based on your requests. The first one we have added, and I want to highlight, is market level access control and delegated autonomy. We have a brand who wants to roll out CDP to 10 countries, 20, 30, 50, 70, right? So you have to make it standardized. And we have added the feature so that you can actually roll out per market segment, like really, really easy way. This was really important for many of our global brands. We also added delegated autonomy. We have a customer who manages almost 2,000 mini CDP for the artists they have, and they wanted to have an admin for each artist CDP. So we added this capability called delegated admin so that without giving them a super admin permission, they can actually manage a part of the permission for their team and their artists so that you can create a lot of mini CDPs within our accounts. The next one I want to highlight is activation template. The marketer doesn't have to put in all the detailed attributes when it comes to activation. That actually boosted number of activations coming in from Treasure Data. I don't know if you know, but we're actually sending almost 10 billion profiles just with the marketing channels every month. So if you think about it, we're sending 120 billion profiles annually just for email channel. So that's how the scale we have in the group. And finally, we developed the most requested feature called behavioral activation. You have billions or sometimes tens or hundreds of behaviors coming into this profile. We created an easy-to-use UI so that you can create attributes based on those behavioral information and syndicate that into the destination system without writing any SQLs or anything. So that actually made it much more easier to do the activation for various channels. Now, with this advanced technology on data and profiles is important, but I think what's most important is how do we expose these advanced capability with the easy-to-use UI? That's why we have invented this journey interface. So what we thought 4 or 5 years ago is a lot of our customer was using these old tools like Unica. It's just invented like 25 years ago. And I was just probably, I don't know, 12 years old or 13 years old, right? But a lot of our customers was keep using it. Exact Target, Kitewheel, that's also invented like 10 years ago. Big data didn't exist. So these tools, we thought, is the root cause for disjoint customer experience. The more campaign you're launching from these tools, you're creating more disjoint journey because, one, it's actually hard to use, it doesn't scale well, and it's built for email and some messaging only. So they're not aware of the entire channels. So that's why 3 years ago, we decided that, you know what, we're gonna have to change this for the world. That's why we released our journey orchestration. It's easy to use. One of our customers actually experimented Salesforce journey with Treasure Data journey. They cut about 70% of the time creating journeys. So that's just a proof of how easy it is. It's actually scalable. One of our customers is putting almost 250 million profiles into this journey. We have this like amazing engineering team who made all the complexity into this single easy to UI. So you can actually orchestrate 250 million people within this tool. And it supports all the channels. It's not just email or SMS or any messaging. It's aware of contact center, for example. You can take the data from CRM for sales conversation, right? So you can orchestrate any of the channels by using this tool. And on top of this, last year, we announced that you can create batch journey and real-time journey within this single UI. And I think this is just an innovation we have done. No one can do this. So today, we actually want to introduce another innovative feature to the journey orchestration tool. It's called traffic control. Okay? So when I show this to a lot of brands, they actually get amazed, right? Because we're the first vendor saying, hey, let's send less messages. Did you hear that from any of the vendors, right? I mean, they charge based on number of messages, so they won't say it. But we'll say it because it's the right thing to do. So what it does is, if you create journey from multiple departments, multiple brands, multiple countries, targeting same consumers, for example, I mean, you ended up saying 5, 10 emails, or maybe hundreds of emails to this one consumer profile, right? But what this does is you can actually create a frequency capping across all of the channels. So let's say brand A creates this journey, brand B creates this journey, but you know what? I want to cap the frequency 2 emails per day, or 2 touches per day, including advertisement, right? So you can cap it, and by this, not only you can provide better customer experiences, I'm sure you save a lot of money from your channel activation tools. And I think this is something the world needed. We built it, and we wanted all of you to experiment and try it out and giving us a lot of feedback how we should evolve this to the next level. And with all the innovation in the data layer, profile layer, and journey UI, that made us into the leadership position in the CDP category. So, I mean, this is something I'm really, really proud of. When I found out, I think it was 2017, like this random summer day, I was looking at this Martech chaos map with maybe, I don't know, 500 vendors. I found out this little category called CDP with only 8 vendors. And we decided to go all in. Now, you know what? We have about 250 vendors, right? But it is true that we are now consolidating into few vendors. And I am like really, really glad with all the support from this community. We're in the winner quadrant category. There's a lot of vendors who are in the loser category. And we're just, it's like, keep innovating, listen to the customer, right? So that's something we're really, really proud of it. And if we are doing POC, our win rate is more than 88%. It just shows like how differentiated our product is. And this wasn't possible without our partners. So I want to say thank you to all of our partners, including services partners, and technology partners, particularly Amazon Web Services, who became a diamond sponsor for this event. Where's the Amazon team? Oh yeah, there we go. So thank you. And also the Artifact team, who became a diamond sponsor. Where's the Artifact team? Oh, there we go. And obviously, a lot of partners worked really, really, really hard together with us just to make all of our 400 customers successful, right? So I can't thank enough for all of them. A lot of partners has a booth behind. So we have a really good solutions partner, tech partner, consulting partner coming in. So I hope you can also have a chance to get to know them as well. And obviously, without saying, customers brought us to the leadership position. So that's why we also decided this year to do a CDP Implementation of the Year Award. I wanted to announce that this customer implement Treasure Data CDP in just 6 months. It's a big business. Everyone knows. And it's already unlocking measurable campaign result. So please, join me congratulating Team Nordstrom. GP. Okay. Musa, thank you.
Good morning. It is bright up here. My name is GP. I'm the VP of Technology at Nordstrom. Customer obsession and service excellence have been at the heart of Nordstrom throughout a 120-plus year legacy. Every leadership meeting ends with a customer letter, actual letters that we receive from our customers.
Wow.
It's a constant reminder of who we serve. And it reinforces the responsibility that every Nordstrom team member has in striving to be the best that they possibly can to deliver the best possible customer experience, because that's the relationship that we cherish. A customer data platform that enables all these key customer engagement aspects and supports our colleagues in that endeavor is a key part of continuing that legacy. Platform implementations are tricky. I mean, Kaz just touched on it. This was not planned. But they're tricky for various reasons. The successful ones always have two things in common. You need a group of really smart people. Some of them are on the stage with me. But you also need a partner that really understands the client ethos, values, commitment, collaboration, and shares that mutual commitment for success. So this recognition is as much a testament to the Treasure Data team in helping us with our journey as it is of the Nordstrom team. I had the opportunity to attend CAB last year. The ink on the contract was barely dry at that point, so we really didn't know what to expect. But coming in here, meeting and interacting with product owners from Treasure Data, the entire leadership team, but more importantly, interacting with the Treasure Data customer community, fellow customers that were willing to share their journeys, their experiences, best practices, and pitfalls and opportunities, right? All of that helped immensely in shaping our implementation framework. So a big thanks to all of you, the Treasure Data customers. We are about a year into our journey. We're happy to do our part and keep the community growing. So on behalf of our CMO, Dennis, Jason, our CTO, and the entire Nordstrom team, Kaz, Mark, the entire Treasure Data team, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Andre. Okay. So that was great, right? So not only celebrating Nordstrom, we wanted to give something to all of you because you came in all the way to Las Vegas, right? So as a token of appreciation, today and tomorrow, if you visit the booth in real time and an orchestration, you can actually have up to 6 months free trial offer available right there. So do not forget, go there, sign up, try our product, send less messages, right? So that's something I wanted all of you to try. So that's great. So that was just a recap of last year. Still a lot of things, right? But okay, Kaz, what's next? Right? And that's all about driven by the customer. So a little bit of my story. I was born in Osaka, which is in one of the second largest area in Japan. That's actually famously no one's business. So my parents ran a really, really small pharmacy business by themselves. They survived 40 years, despite all these large drugstores and opening up and all these, because they had a community around this little pharmacy, and everyone comes to this store. And they always tell me, you gotta have to know and listen customers. And that's my DNA. And then when I became CEO, I created this culture guiding principle. There's a 9. The first one says, the customer is never wrong, okay? So all of you here, as a customer, you're never wrong. That's how we wanted to become a customer-driven. I also spend a lot of time meeting and learning what's happening in the customer, because it's a fast-moving industry. There's a lot of tech innovation. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. So there's a lot of changes in our customers' organization, businesses, and tough challenges. So I fly around the road from Seattle, meeting Nordstrom people, to Austin, to Boston, to New York, to Tokyo, Switzerland. We had a cab in Rome, right? So we have about 400 customers. I personally met 300 customers. In case you haven't met with me, please come to me in this event. I want to learn from you, right? And what we found out is even with the best-in-class CDP, there's a lot of complexity of bringing the campaign to the life. Let's just illustrate a little bit. So some of our customers is spending almost weeks, sometimes 3 months, just to the marketing campaign planning. So someone has a strategy for your brands and ideas and campaigns, and someone has these calendars and plans, and then you have to decide, for what product, which audience to target for, how large is this, what's the demographics, what, this audience is too small, how about this and that? So it takes a lot of back and forth, and not just with your team, but also your agencies and vendors and analytics department, right? So that just takes a lot of time, despite how advanced and unified the customer data is. There's a lot of still human flow in there. There's a lot of bottleneck in the content creation too. The irony of having best CDP is interesting. Now that you can create 4,000 segments, 10,000 segments, but the more segments you create, you have to create more content, right? So it's just really interesting that I met the CMO who has about 300 people organization. 150 of them are designers. So no matter how we become better, this content creation side becomes the entire bottleneck. And obviously, you have to set that audience and creatives to this like a delivery system, doing rigorous testing. And then there's this part for the entire section, which is measurement, right? And then sometimes this takes months. I'm just a little embarrassed. You know what? We became a leader in a major category, but still our customer just struggle to launch the campaign and takes months. We're gonna have to change it. So the question really is, how do we launch this campaign 3 minutes, not 3 months? And what is the superpower we can give to our CDP so that you can launch more campaign quickly? So today, we brought in 3 new exciting product announcements, okay? So the first one is called Marketing Copilot, okay? Now, let's talk with our customer data with AI, okay? Hey, Treasure Data. All right, so this is the actual screen, right? So it says, hey, Kaz, I'm your Marketing Copilot. How can I help you today? It's perfect, all right? So I want to get an overview of our customer base. So what it does is we created an AI agent that actually analyzes your customer data. So it says your segment consists of 91,000 customers, well-balanced gender distributions, and education. So that all comes from the attributes in this data set, right? So you know what? I'd like to sign up more customers for my rewards program. That's just a challenge for everyone, right? Okay, it says, certainly, I understand that you want to reduce the number of customers, increase the number of customers. So 1, you want to focus on increasing rewards program sign-up. 2, you will need to analyze current rewards members. Okay, that's fine. And based on analysis, you might create a segment. Yeah, I want to create a segment, target, and then increase them, right? Is this understanding correct? Yes, okay. You're clever. Thank you. Great, thank you for confirming. Let's proceed with finding relevant attributes. So, if you look at our customer base, they tend to have maybe about hundreds, sometimes, hundreds of attributes of your customers, right? And sometimes it's actually really hard to find them. But this AI can actually find some right, valid attributes. So they found those attributes, VIP status, engagement score, experience score. Those are the right attributes to use for this use case. But I want to validate it. So let's say that, you know what? I want to visualize these attributes. And this engine actually comes with the actual visualization engine. So as you can see, the rewards program is just only 13%, and then I want to increase it. And I want to create a segment based on these scores and events. And it says, okay, these are the criteria and all these. But if I click this create a segment, now I can actually create a segment in the audience studio. And then what I can do is I can use this in journeys and then start triggering the campaign. You know what? You get it, right? So we actually have this project called TD on TD. We put all of the treasure data into this Marketing Copilot, and I could ask questions. Okay, how many customers are using this feature XYZ? How many customers are, actually in this industry, CPG, automotive? What's the total sum of revenue and ARR, right? So that's just like a aha moment for me as a CEO. And to be honest, if someone who can speak English, or to be honest, any languages, can now interact and explore your customer data. That becomes 3 months to 3 minutes, right? Now, the next announcement I want to go and solve the problem is the content side. This is a big industry issue. There's a lot of solution on content management, content generation, and we're also doing data. They never ever talk to each other, right? But they should. You should create content based on audience data. That's just like how simple it is. But the technology is divided. And then also, as I mentioned, there's a big content generation problem. So as we have better CDPs, a lot of customers started creating segments and doing personalization. And what we found out is this content generation problem is just exponential. So let's say you have multiple markets speaking multiple languages. You have multiple brands, multiple segments of your customer bases, couple occasions, like from awareness to purchase to post-purchase, a lot of channels, and you want to do A/B testing. So imagine how busy your creative team is. Imagine if you are big brands. Let's say, for example, one of our customers, Nestle, when I visited them, they're like, you know what? I have 2,000 brands across 200 countries, and 70% of the entire human population is using their product. I'm like, okay, wow, right? So imagine how many creatives they need to create. That's a lot. And we also had this aha moment where a couple of weeks ago, we had a summer intern from Singapore came into one of our offices. He's 18 years old, know nothing about treasure data. He made to this office and then just wanted to experience how the life of tech company is, right? So we actually gave this LLM product to him, and we found out that our internal email marketing team uses actually Marketo, which is our marketing automation engine, and then usually spend 4 or 5 hours to write one email. So this intern came in and use LLM and generate email templates within like a day. And that was actually 3-hour intern every day, so it's like hours. So I was just amazed and impressed. He knew nothing about treasure data. He knew nothing about HTML. Obviously, Marketo's template is so complex, but LLM just generated it, right? And that was just an aha moment for treasure data. So that's why today we're releasing second product called AI Email Studio. Okay? I'm sure, but as I mentioned, we're sending 120 billion emails in this room. Okay? That's like if you divide by 8 billion people Earth, we're sending 15 emails at least a year from this room to every single one of the human. I want to help that. So what this product does is, it actually looks simple. So go to create new messages, right? And I want to create a Black Friday holiday campaign. So I want to create an email campaign to loyal customers who are likely to make purchase. And obviously, the target segment is leather belt enthusiasts, right? And you know what? They can create multiple variations. So variation 1, premium leather belt offer. OK, that's interesting. Personalized picks for Black Friday. OK, that's great, right? So I want to pick variation 1. 2 didn't look great, right? And what's interesting is we also embed email editor within our product. So AI will generate your email, maybe 80%, 90% there, but then you can edit it. You can also use both batch and real-time attributes embed into this email too, whether it's a first name, last name, product recommendation, anything, right? And then you can also use this generated email, trigger the campaign, send and shoot the email within our journey and an activation by using any of the ESP you have. Most likely, it's a Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Braze, Eaterable, more engaged. There's a lot of partners who came in, right? So bring your own ESP, but you can actually generate the content based on the audience data and AI. You can drastically reduce the time to send billions of emails. Well, hundreds of billions of emails. So thank you. I think this is a game changer and saving a ton of hours for your team. Now, let's talk a little bit about technology underneath. We actually created these 2 AI products on top of the common AI framework. And what's interesting is this actually can be available to you as well. So today, we're also announcing Treasure Data's own AI framework, which can take all the data from data layer and profile layer as a knowledge, and then you can build your own AI agent, which uses customer data. Thank you. So a little bit of recap of how RAG means, retrieval augmentation generation. So if you are using LLM like OpenAI, Anthropic, so in this case, we're using our partner, AWS Bedrock, they know nothing about your business. They know nothing about your customer data. So what we're doing is this framework actually vectorized the data within your data layer and the profiles layer and made it available to those LLM models so that they can look it up. And long story short, what you can do is you can create an agent where you can actually answer the question, which is based on the data within CDP. Now let's take a look at how to create an agent. I actually could build this in 30 minutes. This intern did it like 15 minutes. So imagine you all in this room can do this, right? So a little bit of demo, create a project. So we're trying to create an agent which does CDP World communication. Everyone wants to know what's happening, what's the agenda next session, right? So first thing you want to do is you create what's called knowledge base. This is the way you're adding the knowledges to your AI. So this contains information about participants and session information, anything that's specific to this event. LLM doesn't know them, right? And then we are using Amazon Bedrock Cloud model for this demo. And then you can do a little bit of prompting. As an AI assistant, your task is to provide accurate and helpful information about CDP World event. So once you save it, you can actually start chatting with this agent. Just a few clicks. So I'm your CDP World agent. Give me an overview of CDP World. We didn't teach them. They actually just summarize all of the session information and create this summary of events, right? And this was just like a 2-minute demo, but as you can go through, if you can write any, English or any languages, you can actually build an agent. One of our SC actually went to Brazil, one of our customer ABI. He actually built a Marketing Copilot agent which speaks Portuguese by just changing the prompts. And there was a standing ovation of this agent, started speaking in Portuguese languages and assisting you, right? That was just an amazing experience. And when I think about the evolution of this company, we started as a SQL interface. And maybe 1% of your company can, learn how to use SQL and then interact with the data properly. And we released Audience Studio, which is UI, GUI based, and marketing team can use it. But usually marketing team is only a few percentage of your entire company. Now, we believe this chat interface comes with the customer data can actually unlock the rest of 95% of the enterprise so that everyone can interact with customer data. This is a true democratization of using customer data. We have a couple customers who is actually building internal ChatGPT-like platform. And they're asking, how can we plug that platform into our agent so that every single one of our employees can actually interact with customer data? I think that's a great idea. We can unlock tens of thousands of employees started becoming more customer data driven. And we actually built this simple demo. So this is our UCB, Unified Customer View. So imagine your retail sales client, auto dealership, having this iPad, right? And then, you can go to this agent console, look up the customers, in this case, Howard, right? And this UCV shows, let's say, genders and phone information, emails, some of the machine learning attributes like CLTV, real-time information about orders, abandoned cart. But we can add now this LLM button. And in this demo, we created this button called Draft an Email. So in this scenario, one of our customers is a jewelry chain, and they have to follow up the customer right after they leave. It's an expensive purchase. It's a once in a life, right? So what this does is this agent takes a look at all of the past web behaviors, email interactions, predictive attributes, and all the attributes, and create the recommendation of the product. And then they also create some of the content, right? So that's just how simple and powerful this scenario is. And we believe the possibility of this product is just exponential. So if you look at this, we believe we can create the virtual car dealership salesperson, for example. You can ask any questions about, Kaz comes in tomorrow, what type of car they are looking for, what type of add-on they should recommend. This agent can answer. There's a lot of beverages company. I'm just dreaming of creating wine sommelier AI agent based on all of the purchases from billions of people who loves wine, right? I think that's possible. How about having a drive-through agent? Okay, Kaz, welcome back. And do you want to order the same fried chicken you ordered last time? I would like to, right? So what I'm bothered is when I talk with any AI or service agent, they know nothing about myself. I don't want to talk with AI. I always want to find out a way to get to the human. And probably same for everyone. And we want to change that. I think this product has this potential of completely changing that. And today, we also have a booth in the back showcasing multilingual car dealership agent. And also, we're also using our own AI product to make our professional services and the implementation much easier. So some of our professional services team actually built an agent to measure the data quality, ID unification data quality for CDP. That usually takes a lot of efforts and time and wastes a lot of implementation time. So I told Raj, who is the head of our professional services, why don't we make like, I don't know, 100 agents so that we can make our professional services much more quicker and easier, more reliable, and he's working on it. And we also have a demo version of Journey Orchestration Copilot. We were thinking, this demo, we generated segment. But what if we can also generate journey? Okay, I'm a QSR. I'm struggle to convert from F2 to F3. Okay, we see a lot of journey who succeeded. Why don't we generate it? Why don't we generate email for you too? It's just instant, right? So you can see a lot of idea. We have a big TV under there so that you can actually interact with the AI. So please do visit them and then touch by yourself. And obviously, this comes with the security and trust. We will never use your data for training or fine-tuning. It comes with Treasure Data security and trust, zero data retention, GDPR-based privacy design by methodology. I'm sure we need to talk with a lot of your security department and AI console, and then we will do it. So that's the summary of our product announcement. So today, we released Marketing Copilot. I want every single one of you getting into this aha moment to talk with your customer data. I was so amazed and impressed by myself. And the second one is AI Email Studio. If you're sending billions of emails, do try this out. We can generate email by LLM and AI, right? If 18-year-old kid can do it, I can do it, you can do it, right? And then finally, I want a lot of inspiration for all the world's reading blondes. How can we make AI more aware of you as a consumer, right? We have a framework, we have a product. I think we need to work together to make it happen so that we build your own AI. And over time, we will be adding chat interface to every single one of our products. So go to Data Audience Studio, click it. Go to Data Workbench, click it, optimize SQL, analyze the performance of workflow. We're going to integrate all these AI framework into every single part of our product. Now, unlike any other tech conference, this is available today, okay? So if you go to the booth, AI Assistant, AI Your Way, we actually offer a free trial for AI framework and Marketing Copilot. It actually costs, Amazon will make the money, that's fine. But I actually wanted to have everyone try it out with this amazing innovation we're doing with Amazon and some other tech partners. So please do visit our booth, sign it up, and then we'll help you get to the wow moment together. And I want to finalize this presentation with our vision, which is connected customer experience. We're putting customer data at the core and heart and center of your enterprise. So before today, only maybe 5%, 10% of your employee base could have an access and interact with customer data. But today, by announcing AI product with chat interface, we now unlock the rest of 95% of the employee interacting with customer data. Imagine every single one on Nordstrom at the sales store can actually interact with customer data. That's something we want to explore, right? So with that announcement, I want to close this. And we have a lot of exciting customer case studies coming in. This is our keynote, but we designed this event so that you can listen more from the customers, interact more. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the events, and thank you for the time.